desperately desire. It could even be someone who turned you down, rejected you, or just can't get attracted to you. Have a picture in mind? Good. Now just pick up your phone and casually send over 2 little texts to him that I'll share with you soon. The moment his eyes scan your text, his heart will start to race and strong feelings of attraction for you will engulf his entire being. And it'll double, triple, until he experiences the deepest love obsession for you the likes of which he has never felt before. As a few minutes pass, these cravings will spread further, starting from his forehead, down his spine, and to the rest of his body. And he'll be pushed so much over the edge that he'll ignore every other woman and will be dying to make you his lover for life. And this will all happen overnight by sending over a little message to him. Just one text, and that guy who wanted to sleep around will crave to be monogamous to you and only you. If you're single, every amazing man will find himself falling for you like a crumbling deck of cards. That man who turned you down will literally turn into an obsessive stalker and won't have the willpower to stop himself from chasing you. That man who has 1,001 excuses not to marry you will now be ready with the ring in his hand. Enormous love in his heart and a single-minded obsession to make you his wife. That unromantic man who fell out of love will now turn into a desperate Romeo, whose only job will be to confess his love to you every day and every night. Even that ex who got away will find all his senses tingling with an urgent desire to have you back, even if he hasn't spoken to you for months. How can I be so sure that these mesmerizing messages work? Here's the story. This sounds a little crazy to admit, but being a part-time male model, I was a shameless Casanova only a few months ago. I fiddled my way into the hearts and pants of some very gorgeous women. I always kept my affairs short and sweet because staying with one woman for too long could only lead to trouble. Honestly, I just didn't want them clambering into my emotional life. I never had a shortage of women, but I had such an enormous appetite for female attention that I was always looking for a new woman, a new face, or can I say, a new body? With an appetite this big, I needed a quicker way to meet new women, and I finally found the answer in the form of an online dating site. Within minutes of signing up, I felt my mouth literally salivate, as now I could go out with a different woman practically every hour of every day. With a few little clicks and quick messages, I set up some dates for the very next day. One such date was with a woman named Sarah. We met at a nearby restaurant, and instantly my "oh no" meter went from scared to terrified in less than 5 seconds. She looked nothing like her profile picture and appeared at least 10 to 15 years older. I sneakily opened her profile picture on my phone and couldn't help but compare it to her real self. It appeared as if she had gained a lot of weight overnight. Her cheeks appeared rounder and face puffier. She was nothing like those stunning women I was used to dating, women whose beauty flowed endlessly from their head to toe. I suddenly felt stuck. I started to stare around awkwardly as my mind continued to think of excuses to escape this situation. Just then, I thought of something evil. I made an excuse that I had to use the washroom and slowly started to walk away from her. I kept a watch on her from the corner of my eye, and the moment she looked away, I literally ran out of the door. While getting into my car, I felt as if I had lightened myself of some load. I went along with my day and erased the entire encounter from my memory like a bad dream, but this job was only half done. I also needed to completely erase her from my life. I immediately logged back onto the dating site with the intention to block Sarah, but I freaked out as I saw a new message sitting in my inbox from her. I reluctantly let my eyes gaze over it, and the moment I read her words, something very strange started happening to me. My heart skipped a beat and adrenaline ran through my arms, right down into my fingertips. Suddenly, I felt an attraction so strong come over me that I sent her 7 messages apologizing and asking her out over and over until she said yes. I took her to an ice cream date, and within minutes, I found myself so consumed by her words that I'd forgotten my ice cream until it dripped onto my hand. Our time together flew by in a blur of laughter and long stares as I continued to drown deeper and deeper into her words. As she continued to speak, I suddenly felt spellbound by her beautiful smile, loved the warm velvety hum of her voice, and even the way she tucked her hair behind her ears just heightened the adrenaline that pulsed through my veins. Over the next few days, my mind kept echoing her sweet words over and over again. At first, I thought my feelings for her would fade, but suddenly our coffee dates turned into dinners, and dinners turned into long romantic walks. And before I knew it, my old lustful thoughts for other women died immediately as my mind refused to think of anything or anyone else. But whenever I thought about Sarah, my body would feel an instant zap of 1,000-watt current of desire. And that's when I finally realized I had fallen for her in a big, big way. One night we were laying in bed spooning and just holding each other. My eyes softly closed as I started to lose myself in her warmth, her smell, and her loving embrace. The moment felt like I was in heaven, and that's when I got close and warmly whispered, "I can't imagine being in a more beautiful spot with anyone but you. All I know is you're the one I've always dreamed of being with." The distance between our lips shortened automatically, and she gently placed her soft, warm lips on mine. We kissed for an eternity, but the moment our lips momentarily parted, I couldn't help but whisper, "Your words are like magic to my ears. Hearing them makes me feel something I never knew existed. How do you do it?" Suddenly, the blush from Sarah's face disappeared and she turned all purple. "I want to confess something to you, but please, hear me out till the end," she said. I nervously nodded my head. She gritted her teeth slightly and said, "I hate this. I truly do, but I've got to tell you. I am a part of a small group where I've learned how to attract and keep any man using secret text messages, and I might have used these on you." And then the intensity in her voice weakened and turned fragile and shaky. "Is that it, Sarah?" A big cry of relief broke from my lips. "Oh my God! Honestly, I've never seen a woman be so thoughtful to the needs of a man. This is what a man really wants in a woman. My heart is now open to you 10 times above what it was before. But now, I wanted to know the entire story." Sarah told me that a few months ago, she met a man named Alex who did something very unique called text hypnosis. Sarah went to one of his private sessions where he did something truly remarkable. Alex made one of his female clients send over a simple 11-word text to a habitual womanizer who had pledged that he won't ever get tied down to just one woman. And within 27 minutes of reading this text, this very womanizer wrote back to this woman saying, "I feel like we were made for each other. I'm not going to lie, but from this moment on, I'd be chasing you like nothing you ever saw before." Sarah just couldn't wrap her head around this, but then Alex explained that he used a combination of special words called emotion-stimulating words that activate crucial neurotransmitters in the male brain responsible for creating feelings of attachment and obsession. The moment any man hears or reads these special words, his brain immediately releases an irresistible cocktail of chemicals, creating a charming feeling of being love-struck, which means any man will unexplainably feel weak in the knees with extreme hunger for you, and he won't have an answer why. Alex had a large list of these special texts that he called mesmerizing messages and handed over a few to Sarah. Equipped with these texts, Sarah came up with an interesting plan. She decided to test it out on a cruel past date whose memory haunted her for months. This man bluntly rejected Sarah using the most heartless words after their first date. He said, "Look, there is a difference in our ages, and honestly, I didn't feel any attraction for you. Please don't contact me again." She cried and cried over this for many months, but now she used a mesmerizing message and saw the most shocking thing occur when this man texted back in under 50 minutes as he said, "I am a real jerk. I seriously am. I saw your text today and it is driving me nuts. I am so sorry, and I don't know if you can forgive me, but please give me another chance." Sarah couldn't believe how quickly this worked and ran back to Alex to share her results. Alex then explained that these messages have the same effect on the human brain as taking cocaine. This means you'll turn into a drug he won't be able to help but crave 24/7. It activates primitive portions of the male brain that trigger a biological drive of obsession for you, very similar to other natural cravings such as hunger or thirst, which means even if you casually use a mesmerizing text on him, winning you over won't just be a casual desire for him. It will be a single-minded obsession and a biological need that he'll need to fulfill at all costs.